Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, December 11th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. State Senator Jean Leising has renewed her push to shift oversight of Indiana's 11 historic sites back to the State Department of Natural Resources. She argues the properties have significantly declined since oversight moved to the Indiana State Museum and Historic Sites more than a decade ago.
If we don't get this fixed, the historic sites are all going to go down, is what I would tell you, because I don't think the museum people have it in their heart to worry about 11 historic sites.
Leising filed Senate Bill 57 for the 2026 legislative session, echoing a proposal from the 2025 session that was stalled in the Appropriations Committee. Sweden-based RV component manufacturer Dometic recently opened a new distribution center in Bristol. The company, which has its Americas headquarters in Elkhart, declined to disclose its financial investment in the facility, but said it is adding up to 40 jobs as a result of the project. Dometic said the facility has the capacity to hold about $35 million in inventory and is designed to enhance the company's manufacturing operations. Walmart has filed plans to develop a new supercenter in southwest Madison County, the latest in a series of developments that are positioning the town of Ingalls for rapid growth. The retail giant plans to build a 182,000 square foot store and 10-pump fuel station on a 36-acre site along State Road 13. Walmart's plans, filed with the town this week, will require approval from the Ingalls Board of Zoning Appeals and the town's Plan Commission. The retailer has the site under contract pending town approvals. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
A retirement benefit specific to medical costs, introduced almost 2 decades ago to slim down the state's payroll, may be on its way out. IIB's Aubriana Herron has more.
Lawmakers may instead bulk up Hoosier Start, the state's defined benefit plans. They say that would offer retirees and current staff greater flexibility. Tony Green, the deputy executive director of the Indiana Public Retirement System, said the retirement medical benefits accounts were created in 2007 as then Governor Mitch Daniels' administration was looking to cut costs. Green told the Senate Pension and Labor Committee that medical expenses was a primary reason older employees were staying. RMBA was instituted to enable or even incentivize early retirement, he said. The balance can reimburse retirees, spouses, and dependent children for the cost of health insurance premiums, but state needs have shifted toward recruitment and retention. Senate Bill 10 would give current enrollees through 2026 the choice to keep their RMBAs or have the money moved via the general fund to Hoosier Start. RMBAs wouldn't be available to new hires beginning in 2027. The legislation would also increase the Hoosier Start match from $15 per pay period to $28. A pension-focused interim committee would consider making a recommendation to raise the match every odd-numbered year. The state budget agency could then follow through. Aubriana Herron, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The University of St. Francis announced Wednesday it has acquired Leffler Academy in Gas City. St. Francis said the combination will allow both institutions to deliver workforce development healthcare education at a lower tuition rate across 5 of the university's locations throughout the state, beginning in the spring 2026 semester. Students can pursue degree programs in areas such as nursing, medical laboratory technician, respiratory therapy, and surgical technology, as well as certificate programs including clinical medical assistant, emergency medical technician, and licensed practical nurse. Google announced this morning that its $2 billion data center in Fort Wayne is now operational after about a year and a half of construction. The data center and operational support complex sits on about 900 acres of land near East Tillman Road and Adams Center Road on the city's southeast side and is expected to create about 200 jobs over the next few years. The news comes ahead of a community forum that Google officials will hold in the city tonight to provide more information about the data center to the public. Last month, Fort Wayne Common Council interim president Jeff Paddock called on Google to hold such a forum to address concerns related to the use of backup diesel generators on the site. The tech giant says the Fort Wayne campus is zoned for backup generators, which, quote, will be engaged and used only in the case of an unlikely catastrophic event causing operational disruption or for periodic testing, end quote. Indiana Furniture CEO Max Verkamp is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
You know, the economy and the market are in a hairy place these days. It's up a lot, it's down a lot, it's sideways, and it seems on the hour there's breaking news coming out of all areas of the country. How do you get your head around that? How do you not go crazy in the process? I'm Peter Dunn. You may know me as Pete the Planner, IBJ columnist, and my job for years has been to help you understand your financial life better in context with everything else going on. So what am I encouraging you to do? Well, listen to the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, it's a podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts or simply listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.